Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ask ServiceMonster show, where you've got questions about your service business and we've got your answers. Today's question comes from Mike. Really simple. What is CRM? So Mike sent me a question asking me what CRM was. He wasn't sure what we did and it confused him. He hadn't heard the term before. So I thought I'd break it down, why you would need one, what it is, what does it look like, why would you need one over QuickBooks, and of course, without this trying to sound like an infomercial, I'm not going to be talking about in terms of ServiceMonster. And indeed, ServiceMonster does most, if not all, of everything I'm going to chat about here, of course, but I'm going to take that out of context and kind of go above it, because I truly believe as a business owner, you've got to make the right decisions for your business. And sometimes for a CRM, that's ServiceMonster, sometimes it's not. So without further ado, let's dive into what is CRM, why you would want one, and how do you use it effectively. The definition of CRM is pretty simple: customer relation management software. Customer relation management makes up the acronym CRM. And this allows you to manage your software online. So you can go online and look at your account information from any computer, and now of course tablets and smartphones as well. But generally speaking, that's what CRM is. It gives you the ability to manage your client list in a single repository and work with that to do marketing and follow-ups and maintain history and all that kind of stuff. QuickBooks is not really a CRM, and there's other flavors of CRMs for the service industry as well. They come in field service software, so scheduling and routing, or marketing software for automating your emails or printing out your direct mail campaigns. So there's all kinds of different pieces that you can use. And for instance, Google, right? A lot of people use Google as their CRM. It's more like just for scheduling. There's no customer database there. Even if you're doing a handful of things with Google Contacts, it's really limited and you're not getting the horsepower. You can get some work done, but you can do it on paper too. And of course, if you do it on paper, you've got nothing to show for it after the end of the transaction. So that's kind of the big world of CRM. Let's move forward. So why would you use CRM or business software on top of something like QuickBooks? Isn't QuickBooks good enough? The answer is pretty simple for me. You might not need business software if you're a single owner operator who's completely transactional, does not care about repeat rate at all, and has no intention of selling, growing, hiring employees, or handing it over to anyone else. In that circumstance, in that very specific use case, you could survive off paper and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But service providers need that repeat rate. And yeah, your customers will call up, but if you're not using a CRM, you cannot tell me what your repeat rate is. All you know is how many clients called you that month who happen to be previous clients. You don't know about the ones you're losing on the backside. And so if you don't have data, you can't talk intelligently about your business at all, which is the number one reason why you need a CRM. Just knowing your numbers, your key performance indicators will help you drive your business forward. Understanding where your numbers are at is the key to making them move. That's what Calvin said. So having a CRM that has good reporting, good dashboards, comparisons of time periods and so forth is a wise investment, just so you know what the hell's going on. It'll also help you massively with growth, because as your business grows and you start to plug employees in, you'll have a systematized way to do things. And you know, all the gurus talk about systems, right? And they're happy to hand you a module or a book or a CD or sell you an education course. And I'm not devaluing those services, but they're teaching you how to fish. A business package gives you a fishing rod and a whole bucket of lures. Training becomes infinitely easier. I've talked about SOPs before. And when you have a process that's step 1, step 2, step 3, click this button, move here, click this button, then it makes it pretty easy to train, which makes their jobs easier, which makes them more likely to stick around. But even if they do leave, it makes it easier to train the next person. Marketing is a huge reason to maintain a good CRM. It allows you to follow up with existing clients as well as prospects, do email campaigns and call campaigns, direct mail campaigns, either through the system or through third-party vendors the CRM might be hooked up with. And that's another thing you want to look for is extensibility. How tied in are they? Do they have a general marketplace where they're inviting other vendors to plug in and deepen the functionality, even at the expense of their own functions or their own profit and some products they may offer. Are they really coming from a position giving you guys the choice and as much functionality as possible through a general marketplace and web API? Look, your data is available from anywhere, right? CRM allows you, an online CRM, which is kind of the only kind you can buy now, allows you to have mobile apps and tablets and play with it on your laptop in front of the television at home instead of your desktop at your office. It gives you immense flexibility. And I know people who go on vacations or go to trade shows who are still managing their businesses very effectively just using online taps. Automated processes. This is huge. So the ability to set something up and then by virtue of just simply using the system, certain business processes move forward, like job notifications or anything that you do with marketing related to drip campaigns, having prospects receive an email here, then an email a few weeks later, then another email a few months later, providing value content to entice them back to your site or look at specials. Like making all that connected, and once you've taken the time to set it up, it just works. Being able to collect payments and being able to print and have different invoices spit out of different types depending on who the client is. Like all these little nuances that make your business easy for you to run and very pleasurable for the client because they know they're dealing with a professional company who knows what they're doing, who have built systems in place to ensure it. So how do you select a CRM? Like I said, ServiceMonster is not always the best solution depending on what your business goals are and objectives, what features and functions you might need. And so how do you go about selecting that? Take your time. Change is hard. Go through the process. Do the walkthroughs, do the demos, talk to the staff, seek out many different types of CRM and kind of get a flavor for where they're all at as far as price point goes and feature capability, what kind of support they offer. Know who you're getting in bed with because it's really hard to change a CRM once you have it in place. Moving data migration. Man, that's so difficult. Most companies don't even mess with it. And some might do a basic customer import, but what about your history? Do they do a full import from QuickBooks? Or what about the CRM that you're using? How do you get all that data into the next one? You can't. You're going to lose it. And when you lose it, it's just gone. I mean, you can reference the other one, but eventually you'll stop paying for the other side and that'll be it. Now what you want to do is get a list of must-have features. These are your 5 or 6 bullet points that you really want to have in the business, and these are kind of the non-negotiables, and you want to make sure your product that you're selecting has that. Now, everything else you want to be flexible on. No CRM is going to cover everything that you want to do. What you do want to ensure that it can scale with you though. I mean, if it does great at a single owner operator, but at a 5-truck operation, it completely falls apart, think about that seriously. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Again, moving is tough. Getting everybody trained is tough. So just watch for that and make a smart decision that's right for your business. Of course, price is going to be a consideration, but the prices range are so varied. I mean, you can find a $10 a month solution, but everybody's seen that picture with the dude with the messed up unicorn on his back from the tattoo artist who said, "Oh, sure, I can do that." So you get what you pay for, and that's true with CRM as well. The less you pay, the less horsepower they have to actually do what they need to do. And either they're not running a profitable model or their margins are so thin they can't grow. They're still subbing out some of their work, or they're just not able to rebuild or put the features and feature sets they need and grow over time. So it's tough, right? I mean, you don't want to spend at the high end. There are tons of vendors out there that will charge way more than they need as well, just to grab a buck, or to pay for very expensive marketing campaign they insist that's working well for them. And I'm not going to tell anybody how to run their business, but when you've got 2 software vendors, one kicking at $50 a month and one kicking at $1,500 a month, doing relatively the same thing, you tell me where the difference is. And so you want to be mindful of where the middle is and, do something that's right for you. It's expensive to get the nondescript, high dollar, big functions that everybody else is using, like Salesforce. It's not going to fit for your service company. They don't have great packages. It'll take you a long time to snap a bunch of stuff in. At the end of the day, you'll get a half-assed CRM that you're paying $100 per user for. Service CRMs typically don't work that way. You get a bucket, right? You pay for this amount and you get this many users or this many routes or this many clients, and then those buckets go up. So just be mindful of where everybody's at in pricing. Don't pay the bottom of the barrel, but at the same time, be smart, give it a break. It's not cheap to build this stuff. So 80, 100, 150 bucks a month is a solid price to be paying that gives the company the horsepower they need to do without taking too much out of your pocket. Do some research, ask around. And this is a topic of conversation on the bulletin boards and Facebook groups a lot. Search those forums. Take a look at what other people are saying. Some vendors are shadier than others as far as how they treat your data and where they're at in their business process and who they're in bed with. So do your homework, right? Don't just take the word from a few people. Again, your business is different, so take everything with a grain of salt. But at the same time, you want to know where's the love being shown these days. I like to see my vendors profitable, especially if I want to develop a long-term relationship with them. Every once in a while, one will pop up, we'll get some VC funding, and it'll run for 2 or 3 years, not be profitable, and disappear. I've seen this happen over and over again. So watch for those. If you want to be a pioneer, that's fine, but for the others who don't want the arrows in the back, go with a credible company who's been around for a while, who actually has some profits. And then who are the people? What's their support like? What's their sales like? Do the people who created the company, or do they still work for the company? Are they good people? Are they accessible? Can you hit them up on Twitter and social media? Can you see what they're doing? Are they posting blogs about their updates on a regular basis? Go take the time to research that and go to their website and look for their blog and look for the updates that they've done and talk with people about the ownership and the people who make up the company. It's a big deal. It always has been. You are the same way in your business. You want people to know you as you grow your business, that you're a reputable and stand-up company. And so if you're wise, you're putting yourself out there as well to make that happen. And there is a handful of companies that do this. So certainly we're not the only one. You really want to pay attention to the ownership, what their purpose is, and follow the money. Are they handling everything in-house? Do they sub out anything? A lot of the software vendors, they have CEOs who aren't architects. They aren't designers. They aren't coders. They aren't programmers. They're business people. And maybe great business people. I don't know. Some of them I know, some of them I don't. But very, very few of them have the technical chops required to really understand what's going on. And so a lot of times they'll sub out the work. And they may have a few on staff to fix bugs and so forth, but they'll kick it out to a third party. Is the third party local, or are they from India? What about their sales and support lines? Are they using offshore support, offshore sales efforts? And I've seen companies use the local support and offshore sales. I'm just not a fan of that. So I like to keep things local and spiral out, certainly keeping on US soil if possible. Goes to show who's running the business and what are their goals. All right, now you've done all this homework, you understand what it is, you've spent the time going through a half a dozen or a dozen different vendors, you've narrowed it down, you've made a decision, now execute. Once you sign up, and hopefully you can get your data imported from wherever you're at. We do a great job at it. There's other companies that do a decent job from QuickBooks. Once that's done is really when you want to start utilizing it. If you use it before the import's complete, you can end up with data overlap, missing data, things can get weird. Make sure you coordinate that and then go through the training, go through the videos, pay attention to their social media space, the updates that they're bringing you, pay attention to the product itself, and do everything you can to make it a success. Get a fire starter going if you have more than 3 or 4 employees. Find one employee to become an expert at the CRM that you pulled in so that they can really make use of the product. And that's really the key to winning. Too many people will sign up and be like, cool, and they feel good, and then they don't put in the effort and actually use it every day, which is the real key to making that thing work for you. All right, guys, wrapping up, 3 things. Number 1, a good software platform helps you grow your business, understand where your numbers are. It helps you scale, train employees, and understand your clients and how to get more of them, how to process. I can go on and on and on. A CRM, I think, is essential for a good growing business. Number 2, who you choose matters. Take some time with it. Change is hard. Go through the process and figure out which one will work best for you. And put in the work. Do the training, study, use it every day. Make it an integral part of your business and it will help you succeed. Until next time, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel, go check out the demo, and give us a call.